What's up YouTube, it's Felicia here and I am back with another video. So today I am going to do a well requested video, and I mean from like 2 years now. I've been doing YouTube about 2 years now, obviously inconsistently, which is my fault. I'm so sorry to everyone who believes in me and everyone, sorry, it's like lint floating, who believes in me and who has just been really wanting more from me. But today, as the title says, I will be talking about my hair journey from beginning to end. I think mine is very unique because within the process I've had a reverse, and the reverse is happening now. So it's just been like a tragic with my hair at this point, but I am appreciative of my journey. So without further ado, let's just get right into it because I don't know how long this is about to be. So let's get into it. All right, so I will be inserting pictures as I'm talking, and that's why I moved off to one side. I don't know, can't tell what side it's going to be on from recording, but right now I am on the right and the pictures will be on my left, right here. So yeah, so anyway, so starting out, let's see, I started my natural hair journey in about 2013-14, closer to 14, and before that, so I was a person who always had hair and a lot of hair, but my downfall was that nobody wanted to do it and nobody wanted to deal with it. So I wore a lot of ponytails, and my mom, like, you know, she used to do my hair, but a lot of times it would just be a hassle. And I remember everyone always talking about how much hair I had, how hard it was to manage, and things like that. So I also remember getting a perm one time in my life, and if I could find the picture I would, but I don't have one. And it definitely made my hair thinner and easier to manage, but now that I am where I am, I would have never done it. And my mom was able to do my hair easier at that time. I was also one of those kids raised on the pressing comb. Every holiday, every celebration, anything that you needed to look nice and need to be well groomed, a pressing comb was put to my head, just like a lot of other people. So I always had my hair straightened, and from that and how I was raised, I always also thought that my hair needed to always be straight. So I wore weaves, I maybe say like 4 throughout my whole life, but it was, I would use the same hair, wash it and use the same hair. I had the curly hair, which is interesting because it looks like how my hair looks now as an adult. But I had that where you just leave out the front. I always had them to the back. I never had a part or a side part or anything. I would just leave out the brim and always wear it. And I definitely have pictures that you'll be seeing right now. So I went through that phase of having weaves. I felt prettier as I had weaves. Everyone loved the texture, and I used to get that yayyyy pack, the black pack with the light blue trimming on it. Like, that is the only hair we had. That is the only hair we used to use, and I used to reuse it. And it got to a point to where I was able to do weaves myself. So I was doing weaves for other people. I was doing some of my own, but my mom would do it, or my aunt would do it most of the time. Like, everyone in the house just took turns doing everybody's hair. And that's also when I learned how to braid. I learned how to do my own braids and things like that. And then it got to a point in high school where I became like the queen of a braid out. And I hope I can find pictures, but I used to braid my hair back, like the set it off braids, and take them out. And I used to go to school like that. And I remember people telling me, like, you're the only one I know who could do this and it still look good. And that's before like braids were in again. So like if you had fake hair braids and individuals and cornrows, it was like, ugh. But I would still do it for my braid out. So interestingly, like, that was my style. Like, Felicia and her braid out was it. And I mean all the time. And then the guy that I was dating at the time, he really liked the natural look on me and the wavy everything. So it was something that I did keep up at that time too, because it also helps your hair be easier managed, because it's not shrunk to your head. It's just elongated from the braids, and it gives us this nice uniform definition. So that was braids out in high school. And then I had a weave for prom and things like that, and it was a straight weave. So then from those times, as I got into college, I went to college and I went with my hair straight. And I went to college and I was also a softball player. So in my mind, I was like, I have to always have my hair straight because it won't fit under my helmet. Like, that was my thing. It was so funny because I remember the first day it rained. I went to school in Oregon. I went to George Fox University. Whoever's went there heard of it. Shout out to you. And when it rained the first day, I literally went out to the outfield. I was the outfielder. And I had the helmet on because I was like, my hair is not about to get wet. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I also had this mindset that my hair was unmanageable. And I let everything around me and everyone tell me that it really was unmanageable. And I took that to college. And when I got to college, I always had straight hair. I always made sure to press it out. I always had different stuff. Oh, mind you, through that time, I've also had blonde hair. I've had orange hair, brownish hair. And all through college, I started experimenting with color and red. I remember seeing one of those Rihanna pictures when she had the wand curls and it was like that crimson red. I remember like, that's what I want. I want that. So I rocked the red hair from the beginning, like 2-3 years of undergrad. And then I moved to like a orangey blonde color, and I never bleached it, but I wanted to go as light as I could without bleach. So every time I would go get my hair pressed by my friend's sister, who was a licensed cosmetologist, she would put the same color or something a little lighter or different on top to keep having it change colors. And I liked it. That was my thing. I used to rock the bangs, the Chinese bangs. I had that style a couple times, I think twice. And I had one with the red, and then I had it with the orangey gold color, and I really, really liked it. But yeah, so through that, through college, I always had my hair straight. And, or I would always wear 2 braids. If it wasn't straight, it would just be wet, and I would braid it so it didn't have to do anything. But it got to a point to where I was like, you know what? I'm not about to keep doing this. And this is when I got into YouTube myself, of watching YouTube. And I still remember the day when I sat down in my living room, and we had a 2-story house in college, and I was watching. I wish I remembered the name of this girl because I would shout her out, and I'm pretty sure she's way bigger than she was then. But that's when I got introduced to like the diffuser and just leaving conditioner in your hair. And honestly, I think one of the people was definitely Alyssa Forever. I have been following Alyssa Forever since she didn't have braces, since her mom was coloring her hair and she was doing videos in her car, everything, like out of her room. It was back in the day, right? And I remember one video she has of where she talked about using Aussie Moist and how she does her quick wash and go. She would just wash her hair, put the Aussie Moist in there, and only rinse out a little bit. And that would be like the leave-in. And then she would scrunch like some gel or something in her hair in the shower and then diffuse it and leave it. So I believe that was the video that first turned me on to like, okay, maybe I could do this. So I went and I did that. And I'm not sure if I have a picture of that, but I went and I did that, and I diffused my hair for like 45 minutes because through this whole journey, I've still had a lot of hair. So it's been shorter at times. It's been not as healthy, but it definitely has, I've always had a lot of hair follicles. So I remember doing that, and I sat in the living room, I did that, and then my roommate, who is like my sister now, little Nikki, we were just like, she was like, what'd you do to your hair? And I was like, I did, and I told her, and it was like, wow, even with it being unhealthy, it still looked good, and I was like, wait, I think I can do this. So in 2014, transitioning into that, I made a vow to myself, like, you know what, I'm gonna go natural. I'm gonna stop doing the press, doing the curl, doing everything to have easier managed hair, and just deal what I have and find a way to manage it the best way that I can. And so from there, I did a lot of braid outs again. I did a lot of 2 braids. I have never worn a weave since high school again. And I just was like, you know what? I like it. And it got to a point to where, because I was at a predominantly white school, everyone was like, oh my God, like my hair was gold. It was gold. And even on the days, y'all know, when it be frizzy and you just wake up and go, you're like, I don't care. They love that look. So I used to walk around with this huge afro, whether it was tamed or not, and I would just leave it. I didn't care. My hair became like an item to people, and the other thing is, people always also wanted to touch it. And that is where I first learned that there is ignorance among other cultures regarding our hair, because there were definitely people who wanted to touch because they were just being dumb, but there were also people who wanted to touch because they were very interested in the texture, how it felt, how it looked. And yes, I'm not a pet, so you don't just come up to me and touch me, but you definitely can ask, and then if I feel that it's genuine, I may let you touch my hair. I don't think it's a problem touching my hair. I just think it's more of a problem when you view it as like, as a pet, or as like it's something wrong with it, or it's like, oh, how did you get that? Like, how did you, versus it being like, wow, that is really amazing. Like, I'm curious about how your hair does that, or how X, Y, and Z. And there are definitely a lot of homeschool Caucasian people there that come from not seeing people of color. I lived in a town where there was probably no black people that really lived there. Mind you, a lot of my classes, I was the only black person in all of them. And my school was fairly small, so most of my classes had about no more than 50 students, and majority, it was like 25, like 12 to 25 in a class, because I went to a private Christian college. And so, yeah, so I started doing that, and then everyone just started loving my hair, and they started appreciating it as it was and things like that. And so from there, that's when I was like, okay, I need to figure out like this curly cut stuff, this Divashon stuff. So I had ran into the curl doctor on social media by that time, and I was like, okay. I graduated also in 2015, so within that year, before I graduated, I was like, okay, I need to go see the curl doctor. That was one of my goals. But within that time, there was a black and white lady who actually did hair out of a salon, and she had just got Diva Curl certified or something, and she went to the school of Paul Mitchell. And so she was a girl that cuts one of my friend's hair, and my friend is Cuban, but she has curly hair, but it's nothing like mine. It's more of that very fine, easy managed, you wet it, it lays flat type of hair. I don't know how to call it. It's more of, if you're using numbers, like a 3 or 3A, around there. So anyway, I went to her because she vouched for her for doing her hair for so long, and she had some black in her. So her hair was more like mine than it was of her other side, and she also had siblings whose hair that she did all the time. So from there, I went to her, I told her what I wanted, and she did it, and she gave me a cut. And at the time, the cut was fine, and I do have pictures of when I did get my hair cut. Like, you'll see that it made a big difference. It was just like, wow. When I took a picture holding my hair like this, and the fact that it was curly, I was like, what the hell? And so I really just got in tune with like getting that diva cut and really going natural. And my hair was definitely still damaged because it was still blonde orange at the time. And then, excuse me, so I was like, okay, so I got this first one, figured it out, bought some products from her, don't even know what they're called. There are no curly products I've ever seen in my life, but they were like in a dark green bottle, probably pretty expensive, and worked okay, but overall it wasn't something that probably really worked for my hair. I just used it because she suggested it. So then from there, graduated, get home, right? I'm like, okay, 2016, I'm gonna go see the curl doctor, saved up my money at this time. thinking about my master's, so I'm just working a regular job. I actually had 2 jobs at this time going through it, and my hair is just changing. My hair is changing as time goes on. I've even had videos made from 2016 of my curly hair routines, and so I kept going. I kept going, and I was the queen of like twist outs. One of my most popular videos is my flexi rod, which I will insert. And I just started figuring out ways. I've done a straw set before. That took forever. It lasted a while though. And I've just done, you know what? I lied. I got a weave in college. Let me show you the pictures. So I definitely got a weave, and my hair was black at this time. And I can't remember where I bought that hair from, but it wasn't my yayyyy hair. It was something else, but I really liked it. I loved that weave as well. And this time I did have a side part, and I wore it for a while, and it blended with my hair very, very well. And I actually got it done in Oregon by a black girl. So it came out pretty good, and I wore it for a while. I've even straightened it one time. I actually still have the hair because it still looks great, feels great, so it still definitely can be used. So, excuse me. Yeah, so I definitely did have a weave, and I liked it. Okay, so anyway, by that time, saved up my money. I'm kind of feeling like I got my hair straightened again once I got home, and I cut my bangs again. I'm gonna have to look at these dates, but I think I did. And then and I got it colored again when I came back home too. I think I got my dates backwards and things like that. I definitely think that happened, and that's when I had my bangs again. So with that, I definitely had blonde bangs, and I had blonde hair still. But by the time I got to the curl doctor, I was natural for the most part. And I remember going, and I'm thinking I'm about to get this best, you know, cut ever of my life. And I won't tell you too much details, but I didn't care for it. I didn't care for him. Don't think he's a bad person. I just didn't like, you know, and this is nothing new because I have a whole video on it. So if you want to hear my my Capella Salon experience, go check out the video. I'll link it. But it helped in the sense of giving my hair shape. That was the first time I had a shape. And that was the first time I could actually see a different shape of my hair, because my hair was more long and uneven, and it looked like a triangle and flat up here because it was it had never been cut in a shape besides when the other girl cut it, but she didn't cut for shape. She just cut to cut. So wow, I also forgot that when I came home that I also got my hair cut by my friend, and she doesn't do curly hair, but I'm like, she always cuts weaves and wigs, so just cut it. I need a cut, and I hadn't found anybody yet, and I wasn't ready to go to Capella Salon, so I was like, cut this shit off, like cut it. So I don't really think I got a shape from that either, but I did get my ends cut at that time, so it felt better, it felt healthier within that time, so I rocked it that way too. So went to him, and then from him, great cut, right? Just feeling better doing that as far as how my hair felt being healthier and having inches cut off. And then I also went and saw, within that time, I went and saw the Devashon salon that was in downtown art district area, I'm assuming. From what I remember, they are now closed, so you cannot go there. But yeah, so went there, didn't have that great of an experience either, and I talked about it in a video. I think it's in the same video as the Capella Salon, so they're both hand in hand. But I did appreciate the person who did my hair, and we exchanged words at that time, and she now still cuts my hair to this day because she now has her own salon and she's working for herself. So I will insert here. Her name is also Felicia. Love her, sweetest pie lady, and we just now got an understanding. Like, I in general, my life, I feel like no one can get my hair curly how I like it but me. So she respects the fact that I go to her for a cut, but I don't want her to style it. Like, that's just what happens at this point. So I love her for it. It's great. Sometimes I'll let her, if she has new products, I like, let's see what it does. But all in all, I don't go there with the anticipation that I'm about to come out here looking like $1 billion and my hair is about to be on point, because I sometimes leave with a cut and I put it in a little bun and then I go do it when I get home. Because I'm tired of the disappointment, and not to say that she will continue to disappoint me, but I found what works and everyone just respects it. So, granted, that experience was something else, but from there, again, got my hair cut, my hair is getting healthier, my hair is getting longer, and I'm enjoying it more. And also, you know what, like, people on my Instagram and people on YouTube and people in the world, like, they have been the biggest help in me appreciating my hair, because when you see me and I'm not feeling it, because I've gotten to the point to where even if I'm not feeling it, I rock it, because I have to get used to not having perfect hair, and it's not always going to look how you want. And mind you, it never dries the same way twice. So that one perfect way you got it, it may not look like that again. Well, at least for me, because my hair is just different. So from there, I just, like I said, it's been amazing. So all the love that I get, it really keeps me going. It helps me to just continue to love my hair even more and really see what other people see. And all the time, I still don't. But when people do say something and I do feel differently, I still just say thank you. And I try not to even be like, girl, really? Like, it just thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because it just is what it is. But within that time, I've also seen her curls, which is Haya. Her name is Haya, and she is from Texas. I think she's in Dallas, and she has her own shop, and she was the one who first cut lipstick and curls hair. I think her name is Jade, and that's where she first realized her ability to do it. And from there, self-taught, went to school, got everything she was supposed to get or whatever, and now she just cuts it. And she doesn't call it a diva cut, she calls it a curly cut, because she feels like she doesn't give a diva cut. Well, she doesn't give a diva cut, and she likes that. I also have a video of my experience with her. I think the way that she styled my hair was my favorite out of everybody, but the only downfall, which I said in the video, is that she uses Kevin Murphy's products, in which I did not get the chance to experience because her stuff didn't ship in time. But she was kind enough to share some of it with me. So I do have some of the products, and I might have to do a video on them, but honestly, I think that it's too light for my hair. It doesn't hold my curls. I feel like I would need more. The bottle is like this big, and it's like $30-$40 for the gel and the leave-in. She also sells the liter bottles of conditioner, shampoo, and their co-wash, and she can ship it to you if that's what you're interested in. I do love his co-wash. His co-wash is the shit. Like, my hair feels amazing after co-washing it with that, and it's detangled and it feels conditioned and loved. So I'm cool with using that all the time. But yeah, so from there, got it done by her. At that point, my hair was longer. It looks better. And then as we get up to date, you know, like, my hair has gotten pretty long. My hair is almost to my butt. I just got it cut about a month ago, so we evened it out. So it might be a little shorter at this point. But the big change, which is the most important of this, is that I got my hair straightened for graduation. And I loved it. I was like, ooh, this shit. My hair was long, like, down my back. When it's to the back, to the front, it went lower than my boobs. And I was like, this is it. My friend did such a good job. I also have a video of when I got my hair straightened, or going from straight back to curly. But the only thing is, y'all, is my hair is damaged. And this is where I said it is reversed, because I don't blame the person who did my hair in the sense of that you did it on purpose, you did that. Like, I don't really realize, I don't think we both realized that my hair did not need that much heat. And I think that I would have preferred a more puffy, straight look than as bone straight as it was, to know that I would have my curls back. Because if you look at my hair, and I'll insert a clip too, but if you look at my hair, it's like, it's, some of it is straight. You see how like it's straight and then curly, and this is a good example right here. Right there. You see it's straight and curly. It's like that in the front. Straight. And I got new growth at this point, so it's in a weird little phase, but you can see the straight and the curly. So it's like straight, it's like reversed. So now that I have new growth, it's about 1 inch new growth, maybe a little more, and then it's straight and then it's curly. So that's why my hair still looks like volumized and like it's an afro and curly afro, because my heat damage was at the root versus the ends, which I still don't understand how. Like, I don't get it. I almost, like, I appreciate it this way because then I don't have to chop it all off, but then I don't appreciate it because it's making my hair look like flatter. Like, I just got it cut and my hair is still flat for me. So I just don't know what to do. Like, I even went back to Felicia and I was telling her, and we was like, oh, she's like, I definitely see it. I've done protein. I've made them in my kitchen. I've used the ones store-bought, and I've also deep conditioned so much. And at this point, it just really is damaged. And again, I am on another health journey, right? I am on another healthy hair journey, because at this point, everything but 1 inch from my scalp doesn't matter anymore because it is damaged. I don't think there's any way to reverse this heat damage that I got going on, because I got my hair straightened in May and it is now October, and maybe slightly wavy in some areas, but there's still just some pieces that it's just not going to come back, and I think I have accepted that. So after that, I've worn my hair curly a couple times and I have videos of it, and I know it's different because my hair looks longer curly, and it's less, what am I trying to say? There's not as much shrinkage, and also it's easier to detangle. My hair has never been this easy to comb through, to get through, to put stuff in, anything. So because it's stretched out, it now is actually easier to manage, which I was okay with, but now that it's growing out, like, I'm not liking how it looks. And I'm gonna just be honest with you, like, I don't appreciate, like, when I'm done, like, this is, I've slept on it, so it may look okay, but like right in here, it normally is just like a little bigger. It doesn't round out as much. It goes flat, and you know, because now it's just flat in the roots area, and I just can't, I don't know what else to do. Like, even if you look in the back, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's just gone. It's gone in my eyes, and I know y'all gonna see this, and there's people who really, really mess with me, and it's like, Felicia, I still love your hair. And even my partner at the time and everyone else around us and everything, it was still like, your hair is beautiful, and I greatly, graciously appreciate it. But you know, when you know where you came from and you know how hard you worked for something, it's like, bro, this is not my hair. My hair don't do this. And I will take back the tangles and everything else than to have a part of my hair that doesn't operate the same anymore, because I have to start over. Like, I literally have to start over, because I have to get this straight part out, because if I don't, like, it's gonna look, and imagine, so say if my hair grows like 6 inches, so you have all of this right here that's curly, and then you have this, so you're gonna have 6 inches, and then you're gonna have that straight, and then you're gonna have the new growth of 6 inches. I'm gonna have to chop it at the top of the straight part, because it's gonna look stupid. Like, I'm really curious to see what my hair is gonna look like once it grows out, because I was on my way to some length and some, like, I was getting happy. And I know when you get longer hair, it starts to elongate anyway, but this is different. My hair is like this, and maybe like in some areas, and as you see, but so if y'all got any tips for how to reverse it or something that I haven't tried that I didn't say, please let me know, because I am desperate. I would love for my hair to go back, but I also have accepted it in my heart that that's not what's going to happen. So I find ways to make it work. I've worn knotless braids at this point and 2-stranded twists. So that has been 2 to 3 months of my summer. So I haven't really been doing my hair, but I know that my channel is one thing about it is my hair. So I'm trying to be honest with you guys and put it up here, because our hair isn't perfect and your hair will never be perfect. And it will get to a place where you can really say, you know what, I really like it. But there's always going to be something to improve with it. And there's always going to be a better place that it could be. But you just have to really, through this whole journey, realize that I'm going to do the best that I can, and whatever results I get is what I get. And if you find ways to do it better, then you do that and you take it. The other thing is, don't let nobody tell you something about your hair and this and that is not true, or, you know, find what works for you. Now, are there products that you should absolutely not be putting in your hair due to ingredients? Yes. But a person like the curl doctor and other people will tell you that anything on the shelf that can be bought is not good for your hair. And it's like, cool, get it. But at the same time, this shit that costs $60 don't make my hair curl as much as Aunt Jackie's. I love Aunt Jackie's right now. And the Main Choice, their little biotin gel. So because $60 not doing it for me, why would I go spend $60 a month to try to get it to work when I can just go get that? Now, Haya did tell me that you have to train your hair to get used to a product and eventually it'll start working. And I'm like, you know what, I get that. And I do believe that, because I think that with almost anything, like cooking, anything, when you got to keep trying to get it to work. But at the same time, most of us with hair that is above a 3A in the 4s, we don't have time for that, right? We don't have time for that. We don't have money for that. So I can't keep spending money on these products that aren't working for me when, for one, I don't have time and money to do it. So from that, it's just like, if you can experiment, but if you can't, don't let nobody make you feel bad for it, because that's just what it is. Like, if you have to start out using Aussie products, then use it. If you can go and jump and buy Kevin Murphy just to try it one time, use it. It's interesting because I was using Mio Organics when her stuff came with like a little sticker on a white bottle, and she was nobody yet. She was still just doing it out of her house, and the packaging was nothing like it was. I would receive my stuff and it would have the saran wrap on top of the bottle so it didn't leak, but it still leaked. So it's like everyone started somewhere with everything, and you just really have to like just do what's best for you. And my other advice would just for natural hair girls is just really be patient. And that sounds very cliche and simple, but it's, you have to be patient. You have to, because your hair is not going to change overnight. Nothing you do is going to change overnight, and especially your hair, because everything affects it, from the sun to the cold to the food you eat to how much water you drink to how much you exercise to how you sleep to the type of hot or cold water you put on it. So when you think about all of that, it's like, damn, there is so much that goes into being natural. It really is another job, and you have to accept it for what it is, because that's just what it is. And you'll never know. You'll never know what could happen to your hair, how your hair can change if you don't try it. So for those of you who are on this journey or wanting to be on this journey, I commend you to keep going or to start and just see what happens. And honestly, I'll tell you this. I think within a month to 3 months, you will see a noticeable change if you really do the deep conditioning once a week. If you don't condition really at all, if you accept your hair like for what it is and start doing things that makes your hair looks good and feel better, you'll see something change within that time, because it has to get used to you doing something different. Is it going to be stubborn? Yes. Why wouldn't it? It's like, no. I don't want to be curly. I want to be straight, you know? So if you've done that for so long, it's going to have a hard time converting. But I do think within a short amount of time, if you allow yourself to be persistent, you will see a difference. So all you curly hair girls out there, keep it up. Like, we about to take over the world. Natural is beautiful, no matter what number curl you have, no matter how you view your hair. You are beautiful. Your hair is beautiful. And you have to find what works best for you. My journey has not been easy. As you can see, I am 5 years in and I'm starting over. And I accept it because that's just what it is. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. It has been one of the best experiences because it's also something that I can relate to other people with and about. And just even in life, when there's things that I want that's not working out the way that I want them to, I can think about my hair and how long it took to get to where it needs to be. And I can realize that, you know what, like, I am going to need some time and more time to do this. So definitely, as you can see, my hair went from blah to blah. And we just popping now. We just gonna flourish. I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna keep it going. And y'all watch in a year and see where my hair is at. Because if you look at last year, and you look at this year, even look at 2 years ago to last year to now, you'll see the change. You'll see the change. So from me even watching myself, I'm inspired because change is effective when you really, really put effort into it. So that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any comments, please let me know. Like, let's talk about it. How's your hair journey going? What has and hasn't worked for you? Like, what do you think about my hair journey? Let me know. I am interested to see and know what everyone else got going on in this world, because hair is fun. Like, I think I should have a cosmetology license because it's just fun. But at this point, I don't have time for that. But if I could do it, I will go back for y'all. Because I would love to create a product for someone closer to my texture and my the way that it takes to manage my hair. So love y'all. Peace. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't forget, like, your hair is beautiful and I love all of you. Leave a comment. Let me know what else you want to see from me and keep it coming. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.